The second stage in making TTRPG Cards Made Easy is to choose card types and prepare your cards. If you haven't already, you should first determine printing alignment. Check out this video. In this stage, you'll go from having an idea of the cards you want to make to having a set of files ready to print. The full process for making cards, including preparing them, is described in the Creating Cards guide in the corresponding product. First, create a working folder you'll use to store your files for the project. It's best to store this in an easily accessible area such as your desktop or a main drive, as this may make it quicker when you come to adding images to your cards later. I'm going to make cards for my D&D Druid character Zunun and his two preferred wild shape forms, the giant eagle and the giant toad. So I called my folder Zunun and Wild Shape Forms. Inside your main folder, create a Raw Images folder and a Cards folder. We'll store our artwork in the Raw Images folder and files for our cards in the Cards folder. I already have art available for Zunun and his wild shape forms, so I'll add it to my Raw Images folder. If you don't have art, you'll need to get some or make some yourself, and images should ideally be a 2.5 to 3.5 aspect ratio or similar for best effect. TTRPG Made Easy products include files describing how to get the perfect images for your cards, and if there's a video at the top of the screen, you can watch that to learn how too. If you want to, you can also make a copy of the adornments you may want to include in your cards to your working folder. This can make it easier to find the files when you need them to customize your cards. As my adornments are easy to find from my computer's desktop, I'll skip this step. Next, choose the card types you want to use, including both card front layouts and card backs. Both are described in the card layouts and card backs file for the corresponding product. For Zunun and his wild shape forms, I'm using characters, critters and initiative cards. For the card fronts, I'll use the layout with a title banner at the top of the card and banners on the sides. For the card backs, I'll use the initiative card back. When you've chosen the card types you want to use, copy the corresponding files from the cards folder for your file size, A4 or letter. I'm printing on A4 paper, so I copy the top title banners file for A4 to the cards folder in my working folder. When copying card back files, make sure you copy files for the alignment you identified in the Determine Alignment step. My cards look best with a +1mm alignment, so I copy that file. Next, rename your card front file to have a sensible file name, so you can easily differentiate it from other files if you make more cards later. Now comes the fun bit, customizing your cards. You only need to do this for your card fronts. The card backs are fixed images. Open your card front file. The file reminds you to make sure you're using the right paper type, shows one or more example cards with the layout, and describes how to customize cards for the layout. In this case, I can add a title to the top of my card in my chosen color and add up to 16 banners to my card, up to 8 on the left and 8 on the right. The adornments available in each TTRPG Cards Made Easy product are described in the corresponding adornments guide, and a range of example cards and use cases is available in the corresponding Using Cards in Your Games guide. It can be handy to check these if you're looking for inspiration for your cards, and if there's a video at the top of the screen, you can check that out too. Scroll down to a page with cards. Each page has up to 8 card frames, which are numbered 1 to 8. If you aren't going to make 8 cards for the page, make sure you use frames starting from frame 1. This will allow you to avoid wasting ink later when you print your cards. I want to print 3 cards, one for Zunun and one for each of his wild shape forms. So I'll customize my cards on frames 1 to 3. I'm using Adobe Acrobat Reader to edit my PDF file, and the following guidance is based on that, but it should be a similar process if you use different PDF editing software. I have the Pro version of Acrobat Reader, so some things may look a little different if you're using the free version, but you can do everything I'll show you with the free version. First, add your base images in the center of your cards. Click in the center of the card to open the File Upload dialog, and select the image you want to upload to each card. As I already added my card images to my working folder, it's easy to find them. Our first efficiency tip: if you're going to edit multiple cards, it's quicker to do each step for every card one after the other before moving on to the next step. The next step is to add a title banner if you want to in your chosen colour. If you're using Adobe Acrobat, there's sometimes a little glitch where the PDF field you want to change doesn't update when you click in the right area. Adobe highlights the field that you're currently changing, so make sure to check this before you upload a new image. To fix this glitch, simply click outside of any PDF field on the page, and then click again in the area you want to edit. Title banners are in the Adornments Title Banners folder, so I navigate to that folder. Since I'm using top title cards, I need to use top title banners, so the text I add to the title is in the right place. Zunun really has a green theme going on, so I'll use green title banners for his cards. You can either keep all of your cards consistent by using the same colour title banner, or customize each card. Next, add title text in the areas that show a text box. I'll go with Zunun, Zunun Eagle, and Zunun Toad to make it clear that the wild shape forms are wild shape forms. Speaking of that, now it's time to add banners to customize my cards, so let's make it really obvious that they are wild shape cards. One of the banner types for character and critter cards is actor type, which you can use to identify what type of actor a card is for. This includes player and wild shape banners, which I'll add to my cards. To keep my cards consistent, I'll add them all in the top left banner position. Click on the field area to upload a file. Banners are in the Adornments Banners folder. For this product there are a lot of banners, thousands of them, so I've organised them into a few high-level types. This is all described in the Adornments guide. Actor type is an identity type banner, so let's jump into that folder. As I want to add a left banner, I open the left banners folder, find the player banner, and add it to my card. Most banners come in at least 2 colours. I'll use the lime one. Let's do the same and add the wild shape banner to my wild shape cards. Another efficiency tip: if you're going to upload multiple adornments of the same type, it's quickest to add them to every card before you move on to the next adornment type. Keep adding adornments until you're happy with your cards. Jumping forward, I've added the corresponding speed values and armor class for all 3 cards, and added a blank hit point banner to my wild shape cards, so I can track each form's hit points in combat. A final efficiency tip with Adobe Acrobat: if you add an adornment in a position and later decide you don't want it there, you can clear it, but it's best to leave this until you've otherwise finished preparing your cards. This is because it resets the default file location, so you'll need to find the folder to upload your images from again. Make sure to save your files so you don't lose your progress. Now your files are ready, the next step is to print and cut your cards. Since you've stuck around with me to the end, I want to know, what's your idea? What kind of cards are you wanting to make? Let me know in the comments.